Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight highs up here and the overnight lows down here. These are our key levels for the day. So starting off, I started trading at 8 a.m. Central Time. That's right as this lower high was forming right here. Now I don't like this lower high as a short because you have this uptrend, break, and only one attempt at a new high. You want to see two clear attempts at a new high. That's how the market moves. It moves in pairs of two. So when an uptrend gets a break, you can expect it to make a new high or at least two attempts at a new high, and then you want to get in on the failure. You don't want to get in on that first entry failure right there. So, because you don't even know if it's going to work like that. You don't know it's going to drop on down like that, but it does. It drops on down. We start getting congestive down here. We get this first entry short, second entry short, but we don't quite reach the EMA, so we want to avoid that because you want it to reach the EMA for high probability setups. We push on down, and you can see these couple legs down here, but on a bigger picture, it's really just one leg down. And then here we correct. We start getting choppy at the EMA and this trend line. It doesn't hold for very long. We break pretty fast. And now you can see this reversal pattern here. You see first entry short, second entry short, failure. But it's a pretty insignificant reversal pattern given the size of this drop on down, and then plus it's just getting choppy and sideways anyway. So we start going into this channel here, we overshoot, immediately leads to a break. We have one attempt higher here, and then we just fade on down. Now, after we push down here, that's when I started getting this range because we have this clear push up, clear push down, and you can see it actually matches up pretty well with these over here. So we push down here, we have this range, it's pretty clear we're in the range. And then when we make this double bottom here, that's when the range is very clear because it's holding off the highs and off the lows at that point. So we push up here. This, you got to look at this bigger picture here. So we have downtrend, break, attempt at a new low, and we make a double bottom, which means there's still potential to make a second leg down there. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to. There we go. So downtrend, break, first attempt at a new low. We can still get a second attempt. Now here we're pushing off these lows. We have this first entry short, second entry short, failure. Now this right here, I see that failed second entry. Now you see this push down here, compare that to this push down right there. That's just a little tick lower. I wanted to see a clear reversal pattern, not just a tick lower on that second, push down. It's just not significant enough to enter on, in my opinion, for a decent risk to reward. So unfortunately, there's just no way to enter on that. And then we push it up higher here. We start going into this uptrend here. Notice the three bounces there. We had an overshoot right there. Overshoots lead to breaks, but it did end up holding there, and we push up to the high again. So we're retesting it, we push off of it, and then this is where I start kind of adjusting my high after we reach it, and we push through it there, and we're resisting off of this level here. And since this right here is still within this downtrend, I wouldn't be surprised if those highs change. And so you experiment with them higher up. It just fits pretty well after bouncing right there. And then here you got this right here. Now, you see how this uptrend right here has a break, new high, and then we just shoot down very strong. Now, I liked entering on this because even though this uptrend right here only has a small break and one attempt at a new high, you have to look at the bigger picture. So even though, if you just stay really zoomed in and you only focus on this one trend right here, you might say, oh, but this uptrend, it has a break right here, more significant than right here. You might expect prices to make a new high from here. But that's when you have to look at the bigger picture. This trend is just one leg in this larger pattern here. See how we have it's like a big picture failed second entry. You see first entry long, second entry long, failure. So even though if you get really zoomed in, you might say, oh, it's breaking a rule, but you have to look at the bigger picture patterns here. And so it's the second attempt down for this downtrend. So we have downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, which of course forms a big picture failed second entry. Also, you see this 1, 2, 3. That's a triple top, triple test. That's a very strong level right there. And so when we rush below the EMA like that, very strong, we're closing near the low. It's completely bearish at that point. That's a good sign that all these setups combined are working out, rushing below the EMA like that. That looks great to enter on. Just get out before these lows right here because you can't confirm that. You don't know what's going to drop on through them. So just get out before the low there. So that's why I like that. I noticed, I checked the Discord before this video. I noticed a ton of people got this, so I was happy to see that. So we push lower here, and we bounce, and then we have this downtrend break, new low. Notice how with this larger downtrend break, two attempts at a new low, this right here, you can see this itself, because you have a count reset on a smaller picture, you can see that these two legs down are clearly related to each other. Now, this is an area right here that I really missed out on something. So the downtrend is played out with a break, two legs to a new low. It's completely made a new low. These lows are very consistent right here. Clearly, it's rejecting this level right here. It doesn't want to push through it. It doesn't want to reach this level down here. It's clearly rejecting it. So when you have a new low right here, downtrend break, two legs to a new low, and even on that second leg down, you get another leg down. So that's, two smaller legs down, which is good for going long. And then you just spike up like that, very strong, back into the range. It's a clear fade, it's not holding above the EMA, but it's strongly pushing and closing above the EMA. It hasn't pulled back and held on it yet. But the context area is so good. I do like going long right here. Now, I missed out on it. I just wasn't quite focused enough. I wasn't really paying as much attention as I should have. But if you see this right here, this is absolutely good, because also on this push down here, it's a spike down, very strong. You can expect possible symmetry. And so you have that spike down, and then you make a micro triple bottom before a very strong push higher there. So given the big picture context is really good in this area, and then even on the small picture, you get these two legs down, and then right after that sharp move down, you make a small triple bottom there, and then you just spike up. So this is really great context. Benji was asking about this area, which I meant to respond to him before this video, but I forgot about it. So I'm going to respond to him after this video. But we push up higher here. I did miss out on this. This is a good context area right here. But I did get in on right here after we got this reversal pattern. So we just had this very strong push off these lows here. We got this first entry short, second entry short, and then you can expect a failure right here. Now, at first, we didn't get a trigger. But then as, we got a few more bars here. We got this good signal bar here. It's in the good context area right after this reversal pattern setup, entering right above this bar. Now I have my stop below here. I don't have it below here. The reason I have it below here is because this is where the original pattern formed. You see first entry short, second entry short, failure. This is clearly where the failed second entry is. Even though we got this small higher high or higher low right here, that doesn't mean I'm going to, change where I'm putting the stop. This is the clear failed second entry right here, and then it just triggered a little bit more up there. And so I pushed it a tick out of the measured move just to keep it for 1-to-1. But as you can see, this was a very strong level down here. I did not mind pushing it a tick past the measured move there. So anyway, we push up here. We get these couple legs up. We reach that high. Notice how I start drawing this channel right here off these lows right here. It didn't quite fit perfectly up here, but we can tell that there's clearly a channel going up here. But anyway, so we reach these highs up here, and now this is a good place to look for a possible reversal pattern down. But the EMA holds right here, and then it closes back above it right there. You can't take that as a second entry long because, look how far you'd be pushing it out of you'd be pushing it far out of those highs there. You don't want to enter directly into those range highs like that. So we don't get that reversal pattern down. It just holds onto the EMA, and then it kind of just forms this range. We break out. It's a very strong push out. We notice these two legs up here forming this bigger channel, and then we just shoot back down. We retest it. We start getting really choppy, and now you see this first entry long, second entry long failure. I see this reversal pattern here, but there's a few things I don't like about it, which is it's getting really choppy. It's entering into the lows, and that's just not a very good looking reversal pattern. So notice how this one, you get that failed second entry, you get these two clear pushes down, before that entry there. This one it just kind of looks like a mess, and you're just entering very low into it, which, I just wanted to see a clear reversal pattern. This one isn't cookie cutter either, but this one is just too messy. It's just really choppy, entering low, so I avoided it. Now we push on down here. It does end up working out very well. We reach those lows again, and then we start forming this larger downtrend here. And so what I was hoping for after we started pushing down here, what I was wanting to see was a break and then a second leg down like that. So it would be like if we could have gotten something like this: downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, and then something, even if it's below the EMA, maybe we could have gotten something, riding it back up to the EMA. Or what I think would be better is we just bounce off those lows. So say we have this downtrend break, 2 legs at a new low, we bounce off the lows and form a reversal pattern above the EMA. That would be a great looking entry. But we don't get that. We just get that first attempt at a new low, and then we just crank up higher there. So we break out of those highs, we make a double top right there, and then we make this first entry, second entry. So there's clear 2 legs down, retesting this level right here. Now, I did not want to go long. I didn't want to enter into the EMA on that because we did strongly push back down into the range there. And so I was concerned that it would just tick higher and then we'd continue down and fade. And so it just wasn't, it didn't hold that well off those highs. It did, close quite a bit in there. Although, you see that tick lower there and then it just trapped up higher there. But that's not enough reason to enter. It didn't hold perfectly and then it's into the EMA. I just wanted to see... It wasn't enough for me to buy the breakout is the point. I wanted to see a clear failed second entry reversal pattern higher here, which you can see. You have that first entry short, second entry short, and so this is technically a failed second entry right here. But I started drawing this right here, and then it held right there, and then it held right there. So it held twice, forming this double top. We were going into this range, which let me make that exact really quick. It's supposed to be more like that. And so when this green line, it didn't hold at first, but when it held there, and then it started forming this resistance here, there was no way I was going to enter into that. It just started getting too sideways at that point, too many resistance levels. I did not want to enter into that. Notice how we just push up, we make this triple top right here, and then, which that would be an area to look for a short, is if you got a perfect triple top closing, not all the, because obviously by the time you get the bearish bar, it's closing at the low, but if we had gotten something up here, that would have been good to ride down to the lows of this congestion right here. But we just don't get anything. We push down here. Notice how these 2 legs eventually become 1 leg, and then you get that second leg down there. And so after we started pushing down here, what I was hoping for was a failed second entry, just, first entry long, second entry long, failure to fade the range, and then push it down to that measured move level there. But we never ended up getting that set up. We just pushed lower here, we spiked back up, and now we're starting to go into this range up here. So I guess we'll see how this holds. Could be more like that. So anyway, and then maybe, there could be some kind of larger, we'll see how it holds. I'm done for the day, and hope this video helped in some way, and yeah, I'll see y'all next time.